Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So in this video we are going to build a random code generator with the help of vanilla JavaScript. We are not going to use any framework or library like Angular or React.js. It will be a pure vanilla JavaScript. So now let's get started. Now in my VS Code I have opened a folder which contains three files. One is the app.js, second is the index.html, third is the style.css, and here you can see all the three files are empty. Just index.html contain a default HTML code, which we will be using. Now here I have written the title, added a CSS file and the JavaScript file I have included. So now let us build the HTML structure first of all. So here first of all we will create a div which will have a class of container. Now inside this container let us create one more div which will have a class of code. Why? Because you will see this in the later section, why we are adding this. And now let us create one h1 tag and let me add a class of content. So this h1 tag will contain the actual code, and a paragraph tag. Let us add a class of author. Now this paragraph tag is going to contain the author name. Now let us start writing JavaScript, to fetch all the codes. But from where we are going to fetch the codes? See, there is a GitHub page, or the GitHub, there is a GitHub account of Codetable, which gives you the access of API from which you can get the random codes each and every time, in every new request basically. So here is a small description that it is a free and open source platform API, and here are the servers. Here we are going to use this api.codetable.io, which is their production public server, which is free of cost. And now when you will scroll down, here you can see one reference that get random code. So when you will click on this, you will be taken to this section, which is get random code. Now after the API endpoint, or after the API URL, when you will add this /random endpoint, so then you will get a random code object each and every time. And these are the property which you get: the maximum length, minimum length, tags, author ID, and it will look like this, the code object. So now let us start writing the JavaScript, then we will see how we will fetch. So first of all, let me target this content and this author, with the help of JavaScript. So it will be let content, or we will simply add the code content equal to document dot query selector dot content, let author name equal to document dot query selector, and it will be dot author. Now let us create a function first of all, which is going to fetch the random code each and every time. So this is a function generate code. Now how we are going to fetch the API? See, to make a network request in JavaScript, you have fetch API, which is an internal API in JavaScript, which helps you to make the network request. So we will simply write fetch. Now it takes two arguments. First is the URL, at which you have to make the network request. So the URL is this. Let me copy this and show you. and second is a object which contain the multiple options. So here we are going to pass only one option, which will be method, and in this I will write get. Now see why I have written this get method inside an object, because I am specifying that what kind of network request I want to make. See, if you don't add this object, then also it is fine, because by default the request which this fetch API makes is the get request only. Just it is my personal preference to always add this. Now see what this fetch API returns you. It gives you the promise. Let me show you. Let result equal to this fetch, and let us log this result in the console. Let me inspect and open the console. Now here you can see this function is not executed, that's why we are not able to see any result. So for that we will add one event, okay, but where we are going to add that event? See, we will add that event to our document, okay. So it will be document.add event listener. But which event? Here we don't have any button or neither any element on which we will add that event. So there is a special event which is DOM content loaded. Now when this event occurs, see, when all the content in your DOM is loaded, so at that time this event fires, okay. And now the second thing is a callback function which will run this generate port method. So let me write this method here and let us save. Now here you can see we have got a promise, okay. Now how we can consume this promise? See, to consume this promise you have two ways. Either you can use the dot then and dot catch syntax, or you can use the async await as well, okay. But here I am going to use the dot then dot catch. So let me remove this result first of all, and after this let me add dot then. Now what this dot then takes, it takes a callback function, okay, and in this what you will receive, see, in this you will receive the response object, okay, response object. And let me log this response object to show you. And so now here you can see we have got the response object from the fetch API, okay, which contain the information like body used, header, okay, what is the status, okay, and the URL. But now see, we cannot use this information now. What we want is we want the actual code, okay, from which we want to fetch the information like this. So now what we have to do is we have to convert this response object into JSON. So how we will do that? Let us remove this console.log and we will use the .json method to convert this into .json, okay. Now where we are going to use this JSON data? Now we will catch this, means we will handle this data in the next dot then, okay. We are chaining another dot then here. So here we will get the actual code object, and now let me log the code object here, and you can see here that yeah, we have got the code object which has all the information. Now instead of printing it on console, what we want all this content to be displayed on our web page. So for that what we will do, let me remove this and let us call our function here, and the name of function is show UI, and we will pass code as argument here. Now this show UI function is responsible for displaying the UI on our web page. So let me create the show UI method and it will receive quote object. Now in this what we want to do is, see, we have this h1 tag here, so we want to set the inner text of this h1, okay, and where we are targeting it inside the quote content dot inner text equal to the quote object dot content, and in similar way we will target author and we will set the inner text to quote object dot author. And now here you can see that the content is displayed. Okay, now let us style this application first of all, okay, and then we will add some more functionalities, okay, what we want to add. Now see, we have now what CSS we are going to write here. First of all, let us remove all the default styling which browser adds, okay. Margin 0, padding 0, box sizing 2, border box. Now here we are going to first of all target the body and HTML. Why? Because I want to change the font family and we will set it to Sigoi UI, and we will also set the background color to #3944F7. Now see, from where I have choose this color, there is a platform known as colors.codingjungle.in, okay, and from this platform you can get a variety of colors, okay, and gradients which you can use in your next upcoming project, okay, or let's say if you want to build your own product, so you can have some awesome colors from here, and gradients are also present here. Okay, so have a look to this platform and let me know, because it is built by me and I will share the link in the description. Now it is done. First of all, let us target this quote container, okay. See, this quote container. What we will do, let us add the class name, okay, and first of all we will add background color to white, okay. Now first of all we will decrease the width by 65%, okay. Then we are going to add the margin 0 and auto, because we want it to be in center, that's why, okay. Then let us add the padding, because currently it is fixed to the border, so that we can achieve with the help of padding. So I will add 5% from all direction, and just one thing more, let us add the border radius by 5 pixel. That's it. Now it's look perfect. Now see, here currently this quote box is attached on the top, okay. We want it to be in center from both the direction, okay, from in horizontal as well as in the vertical direction. So for that what we will do, we will target this container property and we will use the display property to achieve this. We will set display of flex, okay, justify content to center, align item to center, okay. Now see, now you will say that it has not changed. Why? Let me show you. Let me add border around this, 5 pixel solid black. Now you can see here the height of the container is equal to our quote container, okay. So in order to fix this issue, we need to increase the height by 100%, okay. Now see, now again it has not fixed. Why? Because here we have to add height in the body as well, okay. Height by 100%, and now you can see it is in the center. Okay. Now let us add some more styling to this. Now let us target the heading tag which contain our code, and first of all let us add text transform to capitalize. After that we will use the text align to justify. Why? Because see, when we have a paragraph it will be in uneven order. Okay, so with the help of justify it will be in a proper manner. Okay, from the left and right side it will be in a proper way. After that we are going to use margin bottom by 2% because we want some space below this author name. And after that let us add the font size by 1.5 rem. Okay, now let us add some basic styling to author as well. We will simply use the text align right because we want author name to be at the end, and also we will use one pseudo selector which is before, and here we will add content property which will be by. Okay, yeah, see how it look like. Okay, so this is the design, or this is the basic CSS which we need. Now one thing which you want, see, when this code is getting changed, when you are making a new network request, means when you refresh the page, so at that time this function is getting called generate code and you are again making a new network request. But what we want is we want a button to present. Okay, so when we click on that button, then you can automatically call this generate code function so that a new code will be appear. Okay, a new code will be generated. So for that what we will do is we will add one div here. Okay, and give a class of button wrapper. In this I will create one button which say generate code, and also we will give one class to this button generate code. Now the design is messed up, so for that we will add one more property of flex a direction column in the container. Okay, because here container holds the button as well as the code. Now let us try to implement the functionality. Document dot query selector. Okay, we simply want to target the button query selector, and button has a class generate code. We want to add event listener. Now which event we want to add? Click event. Now it will take a callback function, okay, which will run when we click on that button, and simply we want to call this generate code function. That's it. Now see, a new code is getting generated each and every time whenever you click on this button. Okay, now let us add one more advanced functionality. So what that advanced functionality is all about, there should be a button, so when you click on that button you can hear this code, okay, or your computer can speak this code for you. Okay, so first of all let us create the button. In this button wrapper only I will create button speak, and let us add a class of speak code. Okay, now to add this functionality what we are going to do, first of all let us target this button, okay, which contain a class speak code, and let us add event listener of click. Now see how we are going to add that functionality by which we can listen this code, or our computer can speak this code. See, for that we have to use a web API, which is speech synthesis. Speech synthesis is a web API, okay, which give you the access of audio interface, or you can say the speech service, okay. Now this speech synthesis object is present at the Windows object, okay. So if you need to have access, then you can access it with the window.speech synthesis. So now first of all, let us create the synthesis object, okay. Const synthesis equal to window.speech synthesis. Okay, now you have created the synthesis inside this variable. But now you want something now which can speak that thing. So for that we have to use this speech synthesis utterance here. Okay, and in this you pass any text content which you want your computer to speak. So let us create the speech synthesis utterance object. So it will be const utterance equal to new speech synthesis utterance. Here it is. And in this, what we want to pass? See, we want to pass the quote which we have here. Now from where we will have access of this? It is present at this quote content. Okay. Quote content dot inner text. And now this synthesis object has a method known as speak. Synthesis dot speak, and in this you need to pass this utterance, okay, which your computer can speak. Now let me show you. When I click on this button, you will hear this quote.
There is not one big cosmic meaning for all. There is only the meaning we each give to our life.
Okay. So now our this functionality is also working perfectly fine. Now let us style these buttons. How we are going to style these buttons? For that we have this button wrapper. First of all, let me target this dot button wrapper. Now in this, first of all, we want to add background color white, okay. We want to decrease the width by 65%. Okay, we also want to use the margin top by 2%. Let us add padding of 1.5%. Okay, and border radius by 5 pixels. Now let us use display of flex inside this and justify content space between. Okay. And let us use one more property, which is align item to be in the center. That's it. Okay. Now let us target all the buttons. Dot button wrapper button. Now see, we will give a common style to both of these buttons. Okay. And let us add the background color. This color of white. We want border to be none. Okay, let us add padding 2% from top and bottom and 5% from left and right. Border radius 5 pixel we want. Let us add font size by 1 rem. Okay, and one important thing, cursor to be pointer. Now see how is the design looking like. Okay. Now see, when I am going to shrink down the width of the screen size, so this design will be messed up. So in order to see here also, so in order to fix that issue, I will add one basic media query. Add media screen and max width of 768 pixel. Okay. Now what I will do is, let us first of all increase the width of this quote container. Width by 90%. Okay, it is looking perfect. And let us decrease the font size of our quote. Font size by 1 rem. Now let us target the button wrapper. Width should be 90%. Okay, and let us add one more property, flex direction, and set the value to column. Now it will be dot button wrapper button. Now let us add margin 1% from top and bottom, 0 from left and right, and width to be 100%. That's it. Now see, this is how our design look like, and it is responsive for each and every screen size. Okay, and all the functionalities work perfectly. A new quote is generated each and every time when you click. Okay, let us speak this.
It is the province of knowledge to speak, and it is the privilege of wisdom to listen.
Okay, so this is how you can easily generate the random quotes, and you can add this functionality. So thanks everyone for watching this video, and I hope you like this video. So please like, share and subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more awesome videos.